The crusade for rats has left WA infested with them.
To start the story off with a scene from a movie, so they're playing it down a bit. Yeah, don't get too excited. It's not that serious.
Today, a scathing new report into the McGowan government's pandemic spending spree.
That's the report. That folded over, looks like a couple of pages. That's it. Not sort of bound in about 5 different volumes if you're talking about misappropriation of money by governments during COVID.
Somewhat baffled by how it escalated so rapidly.
Well, she's baffled. I'm not exactly sure who she is. You got her on TV, so she's obviously one of the investigators. Now, is she baffled and she's only just starting the investigation, or is that the final report? She was baffled at the end of it. Had no idea. I can't work it out.
Aiming to spend $3 million on rapid antigen tests, the Departments of Health and Finance lacked a plan and coordination.
Well, they started at $3 million, up to $438 million already, and it's still climbing. But the Channel 9 News, they're not baffled. The reporter said that it was lack of coordination and a lack of planning. Well, he's already solved it. I mean, have they spoken to each other? Why is she still baffled? Channel 9 have solved it. No more investigation.
And wound up spending more than $500 million.
Now, without any expertise at all, apart from, say, knowing how government works, and if you haven't worked in government, you know they always have meetings. They're always planning. They're always coordinating. And they will never drop off that. They're always having meetings. They never stop. Now, would they have no meetings about this? When it got to, say, 30 million, no one called a meeting. The purchase order came in, or purchase order went out. And no one said, well, what's this for? It's 10 times. Should we call a meeting? Well, apparently not. No coordination at that point. Now, the fact that it got to 580 million, it's a scam. Like I just said, without any, just from knowing how government works and the figures, that's it. But this girl, she's baffled. She can't figure it out. A serious investigator, the first thing you start is the paperwork, the purchase orders. Look who signed them, who authorised them. Say, I don't know, at the 100 million mark. All right, this looks like Swanson did this. Sit down with Swanson. All right. What? Hey, why were you going to order another, say 3 million would have been enough for the whole population? Why are we at now 30 times the number we need to test the population? Because these are rat tests. These aren't PCRs. God knows what the PCRs cost. This was just the kind of tacked on testing that they were doing. That were earmarked for, these were supplied for schools and government department. How many schools? They know how many schools they got. They know how many. We'll sit down with the person's purchase, inside a purchase order. Well, what the hell was going on? That's where you'd start. But no, she's baffled. And then you start to look at the bank accounts of who got the money. And then start asking them questions. Okay, well, how did you ramp your production to produce these kits when the original purchase order was for $3 million worth? That's it. We won't be there. Might be maybe another one for maybe 100,000, or if we, find where that's what we need, but number of schools and that we got. How did they have the production to go? It's about 190 times. Now they wouldn't manufacture 190 times the. I mean, where do they get their capacity? What factory is this? This would be worldwide, by the way. This scam isn't just in Western Australia. It would be in all of the states of our nation, in all countries. Think of how big it is. The rat scam, if it's just in one state, it's $500 million. This just shows you how big the COVY scam was, how keen they were to ramp the debt up. Because that's all this is about, is debt. There's a video on John Anderson's channel. You might play a snippet of that in another video where Peter Costello, he's a sellout, but he brags about how we didn't have any debt when I was treasurer. Well, he sold off Telstra. He sold off the Commonwealth Bank. Yeah, great work. But he talks about how the interest on debt's now $30 billion. That's all the states and the Commonwealth. $30 billion, and he makes a point that, well, that's the equivalent of the Medicare budget. But it's the magnitude, how it can be just so massive. Gladys Berejiklian, she got done selling $30 million worth of state government land to a corporation for $3 million. Then they muddied the waters. She was apparently going out with that guy, or, the media did their trick and smoke and mirrors. But at least that went to ICAC. At least they spoke about it. Here, is there going to be any ICAC? It should be a Royal Commission. There shouldn't be just her. There should be teams of West Australian and Commonwealth Government, ASIO, AFP, should be just swarming around this whole thing. But of course, like I said, this is just one small part. Think of the PCR test. This has been the greatest. It was the greatest wealth transfer in the history of all nations of the world. And this is how it went down. This is what they've done, and this is their way of just going, well, we're not going to do anything about it. We got you. That's it. This report here. Yeah, we got to take back this place, and even just actually Canada over there, they've got a citizens' inquiry into COVID, and I'll put a link to it. It's very interesting. They've got a channel on Rumble, and they're conducting. They're not worried about the government doing an inquiry. They're doing their own inquiries. Maybe we need to kick something off like that in Australia, and just get as many people interested. Eventually, they can't ignore it and make them go back and just not be able to sweep it under the rug or something like that. Anyway, all right, that's it for this one.